Hello, Spirit 420 here. I'm Spirit 420 because everything I do is just so gosh darn 420. Anyway, another episode. Season 2 is just about to a close. I've got 2 more episodes, and then I'm going to be off until September 22nd. So Friday will be my last show. I should say this. Friday is going to be the last live broadcast until September 22nd. What I'm going to be doing in that interim, I've got a few projects that I've been working on. As everybody knows, I have some things in real life too, personal projects that I must attend to. So in that time, I'm going to get caught up. I will release 2 episodes. One will be a clips special. I don't know if this will be first or second, but one of them will be a clips special from our first season. And the other one will be a pre-record of something, probably give you an update of everything and all kinds of good juice. Know this, that for season 2, obviously, I'll be creating a new intro and have some new graphics and all that kind of jazz. So really looking forward to it. Very excited about where it's going to go and what will happen in the next season. Have a lot of guests that I'm lining up for the new season. So we'll see how all that works out. Maybe we'll end up seeing somebody's in here with us tonight, or maybe not. I don't know. Whatever. Doesn't matter to me. I'm going to keep doing this and doing it because I have fun and it has a purpose. Now, tonight is more of a fun night. And just so you know what I'm going to be doing in season 2, I'm going to start doing some more kind of, how do you say? I don't like the word structure, but at this particular juncture, it works. So I'm going to put a little bit more structure into the show. One of the things that I'm going to be doing, I'm going to start. Oh, I know y'all can't hear me, so I'll be starting this week, but I'm going to start. I want to discuss more philosophy and I think it's actually, technically speaking, if you look and see what I am. Hey, who's here? Who do we got here? Slow like honey. Oh, twin. Hey. How you doing, Powers? I call you all the Power Twins. I'm sorry, but if I'm not supposed to call you that, I don't know what else I would call y'all. Glad to see you here. Hope that we get something scheduled. I don't know if you heard, but I'm going to be. We're probably going to end up doing something. You and your sister will probably end up being. My guess is season 2, something as part of season 2, just so you know, because I've got to take a break. I've been going strong since April 20th. So, oh, it's both of them. Hey, what's up? Got both Power Twins. And so just to give you an idea, again, Wednesday, I'm going to be doing something cool. So let me just kind of back up. Season 2, we're going to start doing some more. I'm going to start doing, because it's me, but it's all us together, right? Season 2, I'm going to start doing things like reading from this book here, the philosophy book. But I actually have a lot of books that I've gotten for this particular episode, and I think what I'll start doing, so I do typically 3 shows a week, so I'm thinking one show will be on philosophy, and it's really always philosophy, right? I mean, let's not mistake it. But one show will be strictly on a philosophy. So for instance, like what I was going to do tonight, and I just didn't have time to get it out there, but I'm still going to go over it, is talk about one of Bruce Lee's philosophy. So I'll pick somebody famous, kind of, read their quote, if you will, and then discuss it. Oops, another message here. Always please self-care. So back to what I was saying. I'm just totally discombobulated. Just so everybody knows too, let me just state this. My father came into town yesterday. And I also have a new kid from Florida. My sons went and picked up yet a second misfit, if you will, that wanted to get away from it and come out here with the 420 family. So life is a little hectic. I usually don't have my father with me, but my father is here. He might even be watching tonight. There's Strange Bird. How you doing, Strange Bird? Good to see you. Nice for you to show up. as always. So again, season 2 is going to bring in some, and by the way, I'm going to go from here on out. The seasons of the show will be going with the seasons of the earth and the world, right? So season 2 will begin in fall, the first day of fall, September 22nd. I will be live on that day. I'll also be live on the 23rd, and then we'll be off in full swing. So back-to-back shows to start off season 2. By the way, Power Twins, if you ladies would like to be a part of that show, either the 22nd or the 23rd, that is absolutely doable, and we could probably then make it easy to plan since it's so far ahead of time. But with the new season, I do want to try to bring a format. It's kind of an idea, so this may change before I start season 2. But my thought is that I go live 3 days a week. So one day, pick a philosophical quote or a philosophical thought, right, and discuss that one. So really philosophy, and most likely it's going to be in the Stoic range, because I think by definition I'm kind of moving into that Stoic philosopher kind of, I don't like to use the word role, but whatever. I don't like labels at all. But when I came across the word Stoic in the sense of when I was looking, and I never really knew what it was, so I finally looked it up, and it's obviously somebody who philosophizes on the idea of positive. I could look it up, but either way, there we go. We got some. I thought that would be cool, right? What we got here? Big brain idea, as my grandson would say. Yeah, it is a big brain idea. I'm trying to have that big brain. No, but really, the concept was, it's really, I wanted to give structure so I didn't have to always try to be thinking about something. And I like to tell my stories. So one of the 3 shows each week will be me telling stories as usual. Something from the past, something from spirits, deep dark closet, one of my skeletons that can come out and show its bones. And believe me, I have tons of skeletons. And then I was thinking, I started this space, and I'm going to start it again. I did this space a couple times, and I really enjoyed it. I just trying to work out everything scheduling wise. But I called it, oh my goodness, my mind went, Coffee, Weed, God. So one night a week, and I don't know what these nights, I don't know how it's going to go down yet. I'm figuring all that out up here in that big brain, as Strange Bird likes to say. But one night a week, we'll do philosophy. One night a week, we will do coffee, weed, and God, right? Which, again, these are all really philosophy, but the focus is going to be on coffee, weed, God, or somehow mixing the 3, like, sitting down with God and having a nice cup of coffee while smoking a joint, which is where I believe I will be one day. That said, then one night will be me telling my stories. So storytelling, which ends up with a philosophy always, because there's something that you gain from every story that somebody has to say, which is funny that I'm talking about that, because tonight's investigation from FlickDick actually has to do with that. And I'll get into that in a minute. But again, one night a week, philosophy, one night a week, a story, and then one night a week, God, weed, and coffee. Now, one of those nights I'm going to dedicate to when I can do reviews, because the FlickDick is always reviewing things. I didn't want to put this it was too much to write. So I have a book tonight that I'm going to review, but I'm actually going to review it on Wednesday. The FlickDick does have a investigation though. And that's what we call them here. We call them investigations. I was catching everybody up. It's so if I review something, I give an investigation. I went to go see 3,000 Years of Longing yesterday. Now, funny enough, I went to go see it by myself because my father and my mother were on their way back into town, and somebody had to stay home with the kids. They're 8 and 10. So my wife stayed home, and I went to go see this one by myself. Funny enough, I watched the preview and saw one thing and went to go see the movie, and it wasn't that it was another. It delivered on the preview, but it was definitely more of an emotional, I hate to use the word chick flick, because a chick flick puts it up into Meg Ryan and Tom Hanks, right? And that's no offense, but what used to be a chick flick is this was a philosophical movie that is definitely great to see with a lover, but even great to see with a friend. I hope that my friends and family go see it, and I'll just skip right into it. I'll come back to the book here in a minute. But this was part of the investigation tonight. Part of tonight's show was the investigation. And by the way, if you haven't figured it out yet, folks, I just go where that big brain, something's sticky. That feels like there's a piece of wax on my finger. I just go where the big brain tells me to, right? Oh, I know what it was. It's that stupid hair stuff I put in. Anywho, went to go see the film. Started out, my wife and I were kind of having tough times. What I mean by that is every married couple has fights. Well, one of the things that I used to do, and I'm kind of trying to bring it back, is that when I would fight with my, my lover, whoever it was, I've only been married once, so this isn't always with my wife. I think we did it a little bit in the beginning, but I would go do things on my own that I would normally do as a couple, just to kind of find not just solace in it, but then, if you do something that you usually do with your lover and they're not there, you appreciate them more when you go back and see them, right? Like, excuse me, I really wish my wife had been there yesterday. I would have loved to have seen that film with her, and now I'm going to have to go take her to see it anyway. So it'll just cost me doubly, but it really doesn't cost me a fucking thing because I have unlimited movies. I can see as many as I want. They're 50 cents a film. That's literally a joke to say I pay 50 cents a film. And by the way, 50 cents is the processing fee to book the ticket. Otherwise, I could go in and just show it to them and not even pay a thing. It's completely free. But I like to book that ticket. It makes me feel special booking a ticket for a movie. That was unheard of in my day. So I went to go see this film in the attempt to kind of, what do we got here? Balls. Love it. Nice to see you, Dingbat. I'm not sure who you are from, or if you are from Twitter, but love having you. And since I got a person named Dingbat that said balls, I feel like that's a Benoit kind of moment. Let's go ahead and hit this. This right here is Purple Passion. For those of you who have not seen this bowl, all the Spirit 420's bowls have to have a name. I posted a picture the other day. I mean, I have so many fucking bowls. It's stupid. Tonight, we also have White Widow, which is named accordingly. So that one's not really hard, right? But check out White Widow's end. It's like a pumpkin patch, like kind of little. It's like the top of a. Isn't that cool? I think it's cool as shit, personally. What do we got here? Nice of you to find me. Go check me out on YouTube, man. And honestly, it's nice to have a new face. So stick around, Dingbat. I fucking love the name, by the way. So Dingbat, just to give you a quick heads up, I try to smoke approximately 2 bowls in a bong and take a couple of dabs while I'm talking and doing all my thing. If I don't have the bowls, then I'll try to smoke 2 joints and I don't worry about the bong and the bowls. But tonight we got, by the way, this is my standard tree bowl. I think you can get why it's called trees. I fucking smoke only trees out of this baby right here. So 3,000 years of 3,000 years of longing. That almost went to an age-restricted video. It probably will be anyway. So 3,000 years of penis is a whole nother subject, but we can talk about that another day. Nice pipe. Thank you, man. I appreciate it. Very fucking good movie. Let me just say this. I was completely surprised. The ratings, I think, are good. I think I looked up the ratings, funny enough, before I went. And I usually don't do that. It was an accident. I was actually trying to just see something about the film and unfortunately saw what the IMDb shit was giving it. And I even thought at the time, I was like, you know what? This just doesn't feel, it's a fucking George Miller film. So to catch everybody up on George Miller, he's had a couple of classic franchises, mainly Mad Max, secondly, Happy Feet. And there's some other great films that he's done, but he's a fucking badass. What's that? Apple sticker, right? There is an Apple sticker. There's one on, you know what? I don't think there's any on these right now. Oh, yeah, it is right there. There it is. Yeah, Apple sticker. I forget. It's on trees. I used to have one on This, by the way, this is Mahogany, right? Mahogany Edition actually is the full name, and that is a shout out to motherfucking Ron Burgundy, because if you have the badass edition on the DVD or the Blu-ray, you have what's called the Mahogany Edition of Ron Burgundy, which is exactly what my wife and I own, which is why on the inside of our rings, our wedding bands, mine says I freaking love you, and hers says I freaking love you back, because that's exactly what Ron and Christina Applegate. I'm trying to remember what Ron's. Isn't that sad? I love that film, and I cannot, for the life of me, remember. Yep, Victoria. Is that it? Victoria? Was it Victoria? Somebody tell me I'm right. I'm not going to look over here at the screen for a minute because I think it was Victoria. Funny enough, we always thought part of the reason we love that film, just a little side note, she's from fucking Asheville. And when I watched that movie, when that movie came out, I was actually still living in Asheville when that movie came out. But when I met my wife, I was down in Florida, and we watched, and I was like, I'm from Asheville. And then we ended up, becoming a couple, and we had a baby. We moved. She moved back to Asheville with me, but it's always kind of a little, felt like a little call out to a great little city that a lot of people don't know in the mountains of North Carolina called Asheville. And funny enough, it's Asheville. The only people that live there are fucking stoners. There's a reason it's called Asheville. It's in the Smoky Mountains. Can you put all this together, people? It's not hard. There's a fucking song, by the way, called The Smokies that sings literally. I'm not going to sit there and bother working up, but you can go to Spotify and you can probably find it. I can't remember the exact name, but it's something about the Smokies, and those people are singing. Every song about Asheville and the Smoky Mountains is about getting high. I'll just tell you that. Again, there's a reason. Oh, it's probably time for a day. So, 3,000 Years of Longing. Probably going to mutilate these names, but Tilda Swindle, I think is how you say her last name. She played Gabriel and Constantine, and she was also that fucking badass bitch in Snowpiercer. I don't know if y'all saw the film Snowpiercer, but she's the one with the shoe. She puts the shoe on the dude's head, right? She ends up getting a shoe on her head later too. But anyway, she's a badass. And then Idris Elba, I believe is how you say his name. Actually, I just saw him. Flick Dick just gave a review not 2 episodes ago, because this is 2 films in a row that I saw with him, because I just saw Beast. Now, Beast was good, but this one was better. This was much more metaphysical, for sure. Obviously, it's a fantasy. It deals with the jinn, which is the actual name for the genies in the bottle, right? And the whole concept, I believe it was a classic book. I need to look that up, but I think it was a best-selling book before it became a movie. Typical. But it is your classic story of, if you got 3 wishes, what would you do? However, it is not told in the classic way of, if you got 3 wishes, what would you do? And I will not give you any spoilers. I do not want to ruin it for anybody. Thank you. Don't try. Why not? Wait a minute. Pause. We'll come back to the review. Evil, you got to tell me, why do you not trust yourself with dabs? I got to hear the answer to this. Please take your time. Oh, I got it, dude. I saw it, by the way. Slow like honey. I totally saw the Swinton. Thank you. There's the full Tilda Swinton. She's fucking awesome. I'm sorry. She's a badass. I love her and like everything. But Evil, I'm gonna there's lag, so by the time you're seeing this, it's gonna take a minute for you to type it out and get it back to me, but we'll come back. I'll be looking for your response. I really want to hear, because now I'm gonna do a dab just for you, brother or sister. Evil doesn't really dictate that you have a penis, right? By the way, so here are some old necklaces. My dad came back into town, and I have my old choker, and then so this one is handmade. Check this out. This is handmade. Each link, can you see that, is actually handmade. This is Navajo, and I got this at the same shop. Funny enough, I got these 2 pieces together. So I'm 50 years old. I got these when I was 22. It was the first time I ever got a cabin. I was full-fledged drug dealer by this point. but I had the money to get a cabin for the weekend with a current girlfriend at the time that I now refer to as Lola. That is not her real name. But I always love the song Lola. So, yeah, just a side note. This thing is now, this and the necklace are, damn, 28. They're nearly 30 years old, but they're made by the same artist. They're both handmade Navajo. Now, I'm Cherokee Blackfoot, so it obviously meant something to me. And I had a big, what is this? She is anonymous, but she rock. Yeah, she is. She's. Yeah, I get that. I'm still waiting. I hope you're going to come back, Evil. I don't know if you. Some people will just dive in and say something based on like one thing. So hopefully, maybe Evil is still here. Maybe the fact is that I'm doing dabs. He doesn't trust himself, or she doesn't. Evil doesn't trust itself with me dabbing. But we'll find out. We'll give it a little bit more time. I'm gonna leave it up or I want to stay on it for a second here. So I will say this: I'll come back if I see evil in their evil ways. The movie was very entertaining. I can understand why it got bad ratings. I don't like to judge, but I will say I kind of had expectations that it was going to be a little existential and probably be a little beyond not people's comprehension, but their engagement level. It's not that they can't comprehend the shit. So, like, you get caught saying, "Oh, people gave it a bad rating because they didn't understand it." It's not that they didn't understand it. I don't truly believe that. Most people, I think, can understand even the simplest of concepts, right? Or even complex concepts. I think that if it doesn't interest them, they don't give a shit in trying to understand. And then it becomes you're just watching something where words are happening. And you're like, I really don't give a fuck about any of this or the story. Yeah, I didn't understand what was going on. I stopped watching after so and so hit the fucking building, whatever. It happens. I get it. I find this to be one of those films where it's a little, funny enough, kind of similar to that Everything Everywhere All at Once. And of course, I'm exactly opposite of the consensus of these two films. I'm going to dab. Evil doesn't want me to. Got to stand up on my tippy toes so y'all can hear the dab machine working. You know what I'm saying? Otherwise, it's no good. Oh, I forgot about this. I got to mention this. Oh, Evil responded. Sweet. Hold on a minute. I got to come back to Evil. I was doing it for a couple days when I had no bud. Ended up doing a bit of research. And unless you do them in a certain heat and expose yourself to chemicals, that you are absolutely correct. And I've been burning my dabs the whole time. Got it. And wait, well, there's more. So I 100% agree with all that you say. One of the things that I do, Evil, I don't know if you can see that, but have you heard of this little invention yet? So this is literally called Mouthpiece. I'm not trying to be a smart ass. Not everybody knows about them. I've been using this one. I've been using them now for about, I want to say going on about a year, but they actually make them for joints too. And it's a filter. And I'm telling you right now, that pretty much filters just about every fucking bad, nasty thing. Now, there's going to be some stuff to get past it. But you know what, Evil, I'll tell you. As soon as they tell me one, I mean, I kid you not, man. Maybe this is jaded because I'm 50, right? And that doesn't mean that I'm any better. It just means that I have 50 years of experience here, right? The moment I go to one thing, I swear to God, man, like the moment that I commit to something because it's the healthier way, a report comes out within like 6 months of how that one's just as bad as the fucking other one that I quit. So and don't get me wrong, I want to live as long as I can. That's why I'm quitting cigarettes. The reason that I have gone to almost almost everything I smoke now is filtered, right? See, like even on the right? The only thing that's not filtered, believe it or not, are the bowls that I smoke, which I only smoke now for this live show. And my wife is a witness to that. Because my throat, it's getting old. And I want to try to save it. But I mean, I'm going to die from fucking something, man. You know, like I do what I know is basic health, if that makes sense. That's just common sense. Like if I can feel my throat hurting at the end of the day because of what I'm doing, then I know that by the time I'm 60, 10 years from now, that's going to be a hell of a lot fucking worse, right? So I really just I go with God and I go with my gut. So I go with God's gut, which is probably a nice beer gut, much like mine, but I don't drink beer, so mine's a Coke gut. Not cocaine. Speaking of guts, I got to share this. My oldest son came by today. This was one of the highlights of my day, highlights of my week. I'm sorry, but I'm 50. He's 22. His girlfriend and her sister and her friend, three of them apparently were in the car together. I'm a DILF. That's fucking awesome. So, woohoo! What up? DILF it out. I am a fucking dick that someone would like to fuck, right? That's what. No, oh, I'm a dad. Never mind. Either way, I'm a DILF. I thought it was pretty cool that somebody young would even, like I have to be fairly attractive, at least to those people, for them to tell, one of them is her boyfriend, right? My son. I'm a dad. Yeah, your dad's a DILF. He even laughed about me. He's like, I thought that would make you feel good. It did. It made me feel, I was like, that kicks ass. So I'm a DILF. Because I'm always talking about GILFs and MILFs and GILFlings. People don't even know that there's a difference between a GILF and a GILFling. Go ahead. Somebody's got to ask me, what's the difference between a GILF and a GILFling? Oh, dude, thanks, Evil. I totally appreciate it. Look at this. I missed some of these. The DILF over has to put on his glasses. That's how much of a DILF I am. Here we go. Unless you do it. Yep. I already read that one. Okay. Next one. Next one. Nope. Next one. See, this is DILF in action. Here you go. There we go. Okay. Finally caught up. Do you use not as much anymore because those things, I don't want to coat I'm burning so close to my throat. And like at the tip of those pins, those cartridges, I still do it. I'm not going to sit here and say I don't, but I'm trying to do it less and less. Because what I notice is at the tip of those cartridges, like it's getting a build up there that I got to fucking take a pin and clean it out or else it gets clogged and I can't hit it. That shit's got to be happening to my fucking lungs, right? Like, I mean, it has to be. If I could afford edibles and they would actually get me high, I would do nothing but fucking eat marijuana. I'm just telling you. I would eat it. Sorry. Excuse me. Totally eat it. Thank you. What's up, Dirty? How you doing, man? Good to see you, brother. Good to see you, man. You know I always love it when Dirty Medic. Everybody give a shout out to Dirty. If you're typing, give a shout out. Tell him what's up. This man has been one of my earliest advocates and fans of the show and has never done anything but show me support and love. I love you back, man. So I was just telling, I got my son told me that his girlfriend and her friends think I'm a DILF, Dirty. So I got that today, which I thought was funny. So I'll move on though. So back to just to round out because I thought the movie was awesome. So I was given an investigation of 3,000 years of longing, written and directed. Well, I believe the book was written by somebody else, but I'm pretty sure George wrote the screenplay for the wrote the adaptation. He directed it, George Miller. It stars Idris Elba and Tilda Swinton. I give it a 93 out of 100 trees. That fucking movie was awesome. It would made me think. It nearly brought me to a tear because I felt like it was one of those pieces of work like this book here, funny enough, which all happened in a matter of days while I'm fighting with my wife. I have to come back to that because it's FR, right? If you don't know what FR is, that's EHFAR. Everything happens for a fucking reason, right? It's no fucking coincidence that I saw this movie while I'm fighting with my wife, and then made myself read this book that I'm going to talk about here in a minute. That Wednesday is going to be a special reading. I'm going to do something really fucking cool. Perfect timing, too. Everything happens for a reason. Hey, far away. No, it's not. It's FREHFAR. Everything happens for a reason. Which by the way means that each one of you are fucking incredibly important and unique and special. And it's something that I will continue to preach and say till the day I die, because I now know it. I don't think it. I don't believe it. I fucking know it. And if you ever want to have a one-on-one as to why I know that, ask me to do that and we'll come on the show and I'll tell you why live, and you don't even have to show your face. So what else we got here? NYC. Nice. Yeah, well, I'm in Colorado, dude, so these are not fake, I can tell you that. What I mean by that is most of the carts that I get are made by the very disposed that I deal with, so I'm sure you can understand that I know that they're not faking. But yeah, there's a lot of I wouldn't trust them either. I did them for a while in Florida before I moved out here, and I stopped trusting them because I'm like, dude, I smoked a half a fucking pen and I don't even feel like a fucking, like, there was no change in my attitude. If anything, I thought maybe there's sugar or something that you're smoking. Yeah, I agree. Y'all say hello to Dirty, man. He just said what's up. Look, I'm gonna leave that up there. Y'all say what's up, Dirty. It won't take you but a second. That's just a little extra typing if you're still here. If you're still with me at this point in the show, where obviously I start to get crazier and even more stoned than at the beginning, because I'm now halfway through this bowl. Actually, I'm not. I'm like a third. This motherfucker is deep as hell. White Widow got its name, the blatant reason, but this motherfucker will kill you. I'm kid you not. Like, I can't tell you how many times my wife almost passed out trying to cash it out so we could pack a fresh bowl. There's a what's up, Dirty. There it is. Thank you, Strange Bird. Yeah, most carts sucking are fake. Not all of them. I'm telling you, not all of them. You know, if you're getting a cart, folks, from the very same people that produce that marijuana, and you know that they're like, you know, how do I say I know my carts aren't fake? I don't have one here, but I have the juice. So I just get the juice. Like these, that's one of the things that I can tell you is if you get that syringe, it's no different than getting, excuse me, pardon me, getting that syringe of oil is no different than getting this. Okay. See that thing of dab right there? I can take that, and that's one of the ways that I did it. I can take that syringe and drop a drop, like the tiniest little drop on a fucking hot nail, right? On that motherfucker right there, and it burns, taste, and I know that I'm smoking THC. So I'm telling you, there are real carts and there's fake carts. All it is it matters the juice that's inside. If the juice is real, it's real. And you can literally get THC juice at 90 fucking percent THC. I promise you. Like the stuff that I get that's not, if you use propane or propane or butane, which are the two main solvents that are used most of the time in making a lot of the wax and stuff out there, you can get up to like 93%, you know, even 94, I think is like the highest that I think I've seen here in Colorado. So I'm just telling you, there's a lot of real stuff out there and there's a lot of bullshit stuff. That is absolutely true. Love nugs, man. I love getting these. So I'm going to do a tweet about it, but I can go ahead and talk about it tonight because I love popcorn, right? I love popcorn shrimp. I love motherfucking popcorn chicken. But I also love popcorn nugs. Oh, it's hard to open that bag. Look at these. Look at that. That's popcorn nugs. Just, they can spill on the desk. Look at that. Just popcorn nugs. They're beautiful. It's just a whole, here. That jar is on empty, right? But it's just a whole jar of popcorn nugs. Popcorn. They're the best. I know my wife was watching. You didn't pick that fucking butt up. I was telling her out. They ain't gonna be no good. I got it, babe. I'm putting it right back in the bag. Actually, she's not watching. She's one of our friends. They're having a meeting of the melting of minds. What's up, Grizz? Did you fucking make it too, man? You doing, brother? Good times. Good time. You know, we still need to set a date, but I was just telling everybody, Wednesday and Friday are going to be my final shows for season 1, and I'm going to be on a 3-week. So what is Friday? Is shit. Friday is the 2nd. I will be back 20 days later on the 22nd on Thursday, and I'll be back on the 22nd on the 23rd, back-to-back days. Regular time, but with a new intro, new trailers, new everything, baby. There's a whole bunch of new shit. Just new shit. That's why I'm taking 3 weeks off. Grizz will be on next season. Dirty will be on next season. I know that because I've already talked to both of them. They said they want to come back on, so I know I'll get them on in the next 3 months. The Power Twins, I don't know if they're still in here. What's up, Medic? You see that from Dirt? There you go. Shouting it out. And here we go. All right. Hey, Evil, if you don't know me, you can find me under the exact same name, Spirit of 420. Obviously, no spaces, just Spirit of 420, all one word, on Twitter. And if you reach out to me on Twitter, or if you leave like a comment here, we can engage. But if you want to be on the show, dude, this show is for anybody who wants to fucking come on here. And dude, are you fucking kidding? I'm 50 years old, man. Do I have any experience with psychedelics? What the fuck is that? What the fuck is that, brother? That is psychedelic right there in a fucking bag, man. I'm gonna take that shit later. That's all I got left right now. But and I just ate up my last bit of bars. I had some. Have you heard of polka dots? Have you heard of polka dots, Evil? Those fucking things are amazing, man. They are so fucking good. It is the best processed psychedelic I've ever had. And I've had all kinds of fucking acid. I've had all kinds of MDA, MDMA, whatever you want to call it, whatever it's, I've had fucking acid laced with strychnine. I've had mescaline. I've had peyote. I've had microdots. Remember fucking microdots? I've had them all, man. 50, bro. I lived for a time for psychedelics, my brother. That was like, how do I say? Yeah. See, he knows them. Yep. Next season, 100%. There it is right there. And here it is. Yes. So those polka dot bars. My favorite, I'm not going to fib, is Twix, but I'm a Twix fan. So I get those Twix, dude. It literally tastes, nobody believes me until they have one. If you get that shit fresh, it literally tastes like I'm eating a Twix bar, except, I'll give you an idea. I haven't done a full 15 load because it's 15 squares and a polka dot, but I did 7. Yep, it was 7 plus a whole lot of marijuana, and I went to heaven for a Tool concert, dude. That was a fucking blast. But one day I'm going to take all 15, fucking see where the hell that takes me. Dude, are you kidding? They fucking have, man. I can't find polka dots anywhere. Well, of course they are, dude. But here's the thing: is in Denver, the shit is legal. I don't know if you know. Well, let me be specific. In Denver, they have decriminalized magic mushrooms, so they're not going to arrest you if they catch you. You know what I mean? Oh, Dirty. Let's talk about that, dude. I only because I know that you deal with some stuff, which is why you smoke the weed, right? PTSD. I don't have to say anymore, but you might want to. Let's just have a talk before you go and do that, because you definitely want to have a babysitter. You want to have somebody with you the first time you do any psychedelic. I don't care if you're taking just one motherfucking cap, because believe it or not, if you've never done it. So you check these out. If you've never done it, a cap like that right there, that right there is enough for you to feel. Okay, I'm not saying it's enough for you to have like a huge, ridiculous visual trip or anything. Probably won't get a lot of colors, or even might get some trails, but You know, if I eat that whole bag though, I'm gonna go on a really good trip. Shit's gonna get colorful. I won't go blind, but I will have a wonderful time. Put it that way. Wonderful time. What is that? So, no, I don't know what that is. Are you saying sativa? Did you mean sativa? Because it's only one letter difference out. Sativa, maybe, but I don't know. Is that a? I actually don't know that. Oh, and there is one thing I haven't taken. Excuse me. There's one thing I have not taken that I heard falls into psychedelics. So I apologize. Special K, uh, ketamine, but that's a tranquilizer. So, but technically, marijuana is considered a mild hallucinogenic. So it technically falls into the you know. And I will say this: I don't know about you, but I know for a fact I have gotten so high where the walls were breathing because literally I got so high that my eyes were dilated like this. So, trails and mild hallucinogens. So hallucinogenics. Is that what that is? Synthetic weed? Oh, yeah, man. You know what, dude? I should make a fucking. I should plan a trip to something. I should do a fucking psychedelic tour and go to all my friends that want to do psychedelics and be like, let's do them together, man. I'll babysit you. We'll hang out. We'll fucking have a blast and record that shit. Isn't synthetic weed? It's a separate plant. So it is Solvia. I don't know how to pronounce it. Maybe somebody can put in the phonetic fucking spelling for me. That would be cool. Anyway, uh, back to it. So I do want to say this Wednesday. I'm doing some new things next season. I'm going to be doing a lot more shows on philosophy and those kind of things. But Wednesday, this I know it looks thick. I think it's like technically 150 pages or something. But dude, this is like the Giving Tree. But when I say the Giving Tree, this is like times 10. Now, some of y'all, I'm going to tell you the name of it. It's called The Boy, the Mole, the Fox, and the Horse. Some of y'all have probably already heard of this book. This is one of if not my all-time favorite book now. When I saw it, so I went looking for books on philosophy. So like I was looking at books from, literally from what's his name, Nietzsche or whatever the fuck his name is, to uh, just everybody you can think of, dude. Everybody like was coming up. And so I was looking them up. And while I was looking up, Amazon threw this at me. And this is a modern day. His name is Charlie Mackery, I believe, Mackery. And as somebody says on the back of this, man, I just want to read this. Simply, the world needs Charlie's work right now. And this is a 2019 book. So I've purchased both the real book, and I bought the Kindle version as well. What do we got here? Let me catch up. Dirties. Oh, the separate plant. No, I didn't miss anything. Okay. So Wednesday, I'm going to be doing a live reading of this book. I'm going to have the Kindle version on the screen as well, with me in the bottom reading it live, and we're going to discuss the book as we go through, because one of the first things he says, like literally the very first thing, is, hello, you started at the beginning, which is impressive. I usually start in the middle and never read introductions. It's surprising that I've made a book because I'm not good at reading them. The truth is, I need pictures. They are like islands, places to go to in a sea of words. By the way, that's why it takes me a little bit to read this. That's how the entire book is written. It's actually drawn like that. I can't wait for y'all to see it. But you'll go through, it literally feels like the Giving Tree, and then all of a sudden it's like color. You'll just have a page of color every once in a while, you know? And I really can't wait to share y'all with this, because this book brought me to tears. It is just like the quote says, the world needs Charlie's work. This is one of the It is my favorite book of all time. It took me 30 minutes to read, so you can get an idea. This won't be some ridiculously long show. Right now, Amazon has it on sale for like $10.65. To me, it is the best fucking $10.65 anybody could spend right now who gives a shit about this fucking planet. I can tell you that. If you give a fuck, read this book, or then come back Wednesday, because I'm going to read it to y'all. I'm going to share it with you. It really... Do y'all remember The Giving Tree, which is one of the most incredible books from my generation, right? That came out. Shel Silverstein put that shit out when I was a baby. He might have actually put it out technically before I was born, because I was 72 and I think it was already out. And that book has stayed with me. I still read that book today. I pick up that book and I read it because it was written for anybody. It was written for anybody who wants to have a good soul, or yearns to have a good soul, right? To have a happy life. This is the new and improved Giving Tree. I'm telling you, it is. It's incredible. It's why I had, like, immediately after doing it, I was in a fight. So I'll tell you this little story, a little bit of everything in tonight's episode. But I was in a fight with my wife, and I read this book, and I had to stop and just go give it to her and be like, you got to read this. Doesn't matter what we're fighting about. You got to read this. If that says anything, when people fight, right? It's very short, man. It's very short, like, I want to give you an idea too, because like, look, and there's times where, there are pages where it's just drawings. Like I said, man, I fucking read the thing in 30 minutes. And when I read it to y'all, if it doesn't touch someplace in your heart, I will be astounded. I hope to get some good chat going when I'm doing it. I'm going to announce it. I usually don't announce my shows except for about 15, 20 minutes beforehand. Any of these guys who are in here will tell you. Yeah, it's just talking about it is doing it to me. I'm trying not to lose it. So, but any of these guys will tell you, I usually just announce my show right before I come on. I think maybe at most an hour or something beforehand. But this one's got this book has something that if the Giving Tree touched any of y'all, this will touch you 100 times more. It's literally, that's why, fuck Amazon sometimes, but damn, they didn't hit this. I'm looking for philosophy. This is literally a book on philosophy. And as the guy says here, I'll read one more excerpt for tonight, just to give you an idea of what Wednesday will be. But this is in the opening introduction, this preface, right? That's the most words the book has, by the way. So it says right here, fucking shit. That's not what it says. Fucking shit is a term you will use. This book is for everyone, whether you are 80 or 8. And I love the fact that he says 80 first. I feel like I'm both sometimes. That's how this book. I'm not even a reader. If you people understood, I'm not even a reader. I am a filmmaker. I'm a gamer. I love pictures. I love to watch movies. I'm a movie buff. The last thing I do is sit around and read, and I'm going to fucking read you a book Wednesday because I've never had a book touch me like this except for one other book. And if you want to know what that is, somebody has to ask, because I'm not going to give it up because I don't want to sound like I'm talking about something that I've said I don't talk about. There you go. So if somebody asks what that other book, there's only 2 books in life that have brought me to tears and made me feel God while I read them. There you go. That's one of them. Thank you, Lord. Literally feels like God wrote right through Charlie. So I don't have much else to say other than I probably have scared everybody away. The few new folks are probably like, get the fuck out of here. This guy is fucking, he is one crazy motherfucker. So I'll do another dab for all of you who think I'm crazy. I am crazy, but I'm also authentic. I don't lie anymore. So right there, that's a lie. Because even now, I still tell a white lie occasionally. Unfortunately, if anything, I usually have to tell it to somebody, uh, either with work because somebody else says, please don't tell them. I kid you not, that's the only reason. Or tiny little white lie occasionally to my two youngest. But it's usually not a lie, more like a band-aid, right? So Wednesday's show is going to be something really unique and special. I really can't wait to do it. I can't wait to hear people's reaction to the book, quite frankly. And what would really be incredible, I'm gonna reach out to them. But what would really be incredible is if I could end up having Charlie connect into the show and having a discussion with this guy, because I would really. One more thing I'll tell you about the book. Hold on. There's few books that I've read where it felt like I could have written the words. Even The Giving Tree was written in such a way that if you know Shel Silverstein, it's like, excuse me. Shel Silverstein is similar to the classic children's book writer, children's author, like Dr. Seuss. And what I mean by that is he had a definite style and he clearly had a flow about him, a way that he wrote. Whereas this feels like somehow the thoughts were picked out of my head, put into this fucking dude's head, and he wrote them down like I've never experienced, man. It's amazing. It is absolutely. It feels like a mini miracle, and it's all wrapped up in what fucking like 50 pages. Sorry, I'll stop talking about it now. Wednesday will be the rest. I guess you could say one of the ways that I'm strange, since I always talk about how strange I am, because most people don't realize just how normal strange actually is. I get very passionate about things, and I no longer mind going overboard to the point where people tell me I've got to shut the fuck up. They usually do it very nicely, sometimes in a sexual way that just shuts me up. I'll say that. But nonetheless, I tend to go overboard. It's one of the strange things about me. But I'm trying to be different. What I mean by that is I'm going to share this with you, and hopefully somebody will share the same sentiments that I got. But if you don't, then I'll get it. You know, like I used to judge people, and I guess this was where I was going with the strangeness. Is I used to look at somebody and be like, how can you not see it the way I see it, right? And I don't know if anybody else has been quite that self-centered where they literally ask themselves, how can someone possibly see it any different than me? But that's just exactly how self-centered I was. What do we got here? Yep, those are obviously. I love you, Grizz. Love you, man. Glad to see you made it tonight, even if just for the end. I don't give a shit. I don't give a shit if you never make it. I still love you, dude, and I'll still have you on the show. But I love that you were able to make it tonight. You know, I could do those. Maybe that's something I'll do in the future if this goes well. Is because even though I can read this entire one in one episode, I could just do like I could have like once a month, like read a piece of a book for longer books that I want to share, because there's a couple out there. And I will tell you this: if you're looking for just a good starting point, what this should be titled is Philosophy for Dummies, right? That's really, to me, what it looks like, one of the philosophy or the dummy books, you know, but then it also is approachable like that, because it literally says, just so you know, the full name is The philosophy book, big ideas simply explained. So it is essentially philosophy for dummies. It's a great starting point. It's where I'm going to kind of, again, I said it's one of, I mean, when I say I've been reading a bunch of different classic philosophies, I'm sure that my, thanks, bro. I appreciate that. I just saw that. Nope. Sorry. So, one of the other ones, I'm sure everybody's going to get this particularly dirty and Grizz, just because I know both those guys are ex-military vets, and thank you both for your service. But as I started doing my research, I came across this one. Yeah, by yeah, right. I mean, this is a must read, even if you're studying Stoic philosophy. This is a must read. The Art of War. This is one of the most classic, and talk about, this is one that I can literally, I mean, what is that? 62. I'm so fucking blind as I've gotten older. 61 pages, right? And each page has like a certain number of quotes, maybe like 5 or 6. And I wouldn't say they're quotes. I think these are like lessons, because I've yet to actually read The Art of War. I've heard about it for years. I've heard that it is, whether, like, it's funny because it's called The Art of War, but anybody who studies philosophy understands that this is a must read, even if you never plan on doing battle. Okay, even if you never plan on. I know it's right. Like, how could I not get this one and not talk about it, right, Grizz? Like, there is something to get from every book, and I bet that's what you're about to say. Oh yeah, but there, yes, exactly. That's my point. Like, this one, even though it's called The Art of War, it really should be called The Art of Being a Warrior. I kind of like that better, just from what I've read already. But again, that's my own Spirit of 420 twist on it, right? The Art of Being a Warrior. So, in my strangeness, I want to come back to this, and then we're going to wrap it up for the night. Raise your hand if you're sure. Raise your hand if you have ever been so self-centered that you can truly say that you've matched me, where you are appalled. I'm not even kidding, people. This is who I was. You were appalled that the other person, after you had given a full debate, full explanation, everything, they still didn't see it your way. And you're like, you have to be stupid. So that's who I used to be, right? And I've come to a place now where I'm like, and I'm trying to pass this on to my son, because he is the worst. My firstborn, the same one that says I'm a DILF, or according to his girlfriend and friends, I'm a DILF. This kid literally has said to me, and I'm sorry, son, if you're watching, but this 22-year-old kid is like, that's not how I see it. And I'm like, right, but not everybody. Yeah, but if they don't see it that way, they're stupid. I'm like, oh, Jesus fucking criminy Pete. Are you kidding me, my great loving son of mine? Like, dude, you're totally missing it. Oh, yeah, no, I've heard about that. And it's why, isn't this part of the reason why the Six Sigma guys kind of built their whole thing around like a martial arts program, even though it's a program of better sales process or something? Have you heard of Six Sigma? Like, you could become a black belt in that, but I don't believe that you're learning to kick anybody's ass. Maybe I'm wrong, because it's implemented in like Fortune 5,000, Fortune 500, companies to better their sales process. So I've always, it's a, yep. See, you know what I'm talking about. So if y'all want, look that up. It's six, just like the number 6, SIX, and then Sigma, SIGMA. SIGMA. But you can be a black belt. By the way, a black belt is going to earn a minimum of like $82,000 to close to $300,000. If they're, truly, if they're freshly a black belt and that's all they have with no experience, they're still going to earn $82,000 for having that fucking certification. Boom. Eat a fucking big ding dong. I think it's stupid as hell because it's really just a certification to say that you studied this particular sales process. But you know, I go against these guys sometimes because I'm in sales, and they've not been in the visceral world of rebuttals where somebody says this and you immediately have to be able to say this, because every second that you take in having the rebuttal is like thousands of seconds of how do you say decredibility, like credit lost. Like every second I wait that I don't rebuttal it quick enough is seconds that I would have gained, thousands of seconds that I would have gained in credibility had I immediately, even before they're done talking, be like, man, I interrupt you, sir. Let me explain why you're a fucking dumbass. And I know what. No, but I mean, it is what it is, right? Like for every second that you take in overcoming what they call an objection in the sales world and you giving the proper rebuttal, your credibility is shot. That's all I can tell you. If they say it and there's dead air, like they say the rebuttal and you're like, they hear you flipping through the pages. And that's your first word, yeah, you're fucking toast. You're done. You might as well hang up the phone, honestly. It's not even worth your time at that point. Oh, that coffee's cold now. What do we got here? That's right. I remember we're gonna have to have a sales conversation, dude. I got to tell you what I'm doing. You're gonna want to sell what I'm telling you. When it comes into the real world, Grizz, you have my number, Dirty you too, but I don't know that you do sales. Grizz, you've got to talk to me about what I'm putting together in the real world for business to supply me with more mola. I promise you. Yeah, I think I've had the most fun selling SAP. All of a sudden, Allison Chains, SAPP, like just shot into my head. I don't know why when I was thinking of SAAS. So I went with what I saw in my head. That's what he said. Anyway, so hopefully I'm not the only one. By the way, that's an old necklace, and this is a choker. The way that this got about, this actually used to be, you're going to love this. It held a 1894 or 1892. I can't remember exactly which year. No. Or was it? No, it was 1882. I remember now. That's right. Because it was 1882. Back in that day, it was very common to get a big pocket watch with a big, thick piece of glass, and that was what was given. It was literally, and it was made of fucking sterling silver, and it was made by the Hampton Watch Company. And these were literally given to fucking railroad engineers because they had to keep perfect timing for their scheduling because trains would be going in opposite directions on the same track, right? So very, very structured time-wise, and they had to be precise. So every engineer and every, pretty much everybody in the, I don't know if anybody else knows this, but like when I say everybody, I'm talking everybody in the railroad industry back in the late 1800s had one of these fucking watches. And yeah, exactly, dude. That's exactly what I was talking about, Grizz. It literally the EP SAP that had four tracks and then a fifth hidden one that not everybody knows existed, but there is a fifth hidden one that's like just totally them being nuts by. They dubbed the band that did that hidden track Alice. What was it? Alice. It was Alice something Honey or Alice Mud Honey. I think it was Alice Mud Honey because it was like two or three bands, or no, Alice Mud Garden. There it is, because it was Alice in Chains, Mud Honey, and Soundgarden, all in that was part of that last little song. So it was Alice Mud Garden. Anyway, useless facts. Who the fuck gives a shit? And how do I know them all? I don't know. So I'm strange. You're strange. We will be having some cool stuff going on. I'm reading The Boy, the Mole, the Fox, and the Horse. When you know it, it's a brilliant title. You'll get it. I mean, it really is not that different than The Giving Tree, except septic's 4 times better because you got the boy, the mole, the fox, and the fucking horse, right? Not just The Giving Tree. Be back on Wednesday. Opinions are like assholes. Everybody has one. Everybody else thinks that everybody's stinks. Mine stink like fresh brewed, great fucking custom blend coffee. Which I timed it perfectly tonight to be a nice cold mug. And I nearly finished this one off. And dank ass weed. That's what my opinions smell like. Put it all together. My opinions stink like coffee and fucking weed. And thank you, Lord, for giving me that. I love each and every one of you. You are all incredible people. Grizz, I absolutely expect you to text me at least sometime in the next year. Dirty, when your site goes live, you know that I am absolutely on it to give you as much time as I can for testing it. For the Power Twins, if you are still here, can't wait to pick a date for you ladies. And I really was, I mean it, you could be part of the season premiere, season 2 premiere show on the 22nd, or you could be part of the, because it's actually a 2-parter, 22nd and then 23rd, because I usually only go on odd days, but there's always exceptions to be made. An exception to that is always for my friends over at, oh my God, Urban Growers. I will go on an even day for any of those guys. I'll also go on an even day for Duck. He's not here, but he knows who he is when I call out his name. Mike Cap. Anyway, I love all of you. You're all incredibly special people. You're all wonderful. I see it. You know I'm going to stay lifted, man. All of you stay blessed and stay lifted. Tune in on Sunday. Because I'm not going to be here. I'm kidding. Coming on Wednesday. My wife messed me up the other night, by the way. She's like, you said the wrong day. You're like, you kept saying Thursday. It's supposed to be Saturday. I didn't even go on Saturday. I had too much going on. Sorry, by the way. Sorry, not sorry. I had way too much going on. It was just not. Plus, I was clearly, if you didn't figure it out, I even said it on the tweets. I was fighting with my wife, so I was in a negative headspace, and that's not something to share with the world if you're trying to be a stoic kind of philosopher, right? So, having said all that, I love all of you. Have a wonderful evening. I will see you again on Wednesday, where I will be book reading as well. It's gonna be cool. I'm gonna set up badass. So, have the digital book. I'll be reading from the actual hard book. We'll be having a live discussion about it. If anybody wants to be on that show and read it with me, now's the fucking time to tell me. So, having said that, come over here to this button. I love all of you. See you on the next episode, which will be Wednesday, 7:20.